Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is the Wednesday and it is the 6th of August. I'm sorry about this late publication time, but I had some issues with my recording equipment. I need to fix this a little bit later, so I hope I can have a smooth recording and publish to you earlier. I have had this issue for a couple of days now. I do apologize about that. So yes, let's see. Let's move on and say this video is for educational purpose only. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. It is purely to demonstrate how I try to read the market using technical analysis and how you can apply it to your trading investment too. Today we'll start with Super Microcomputer that released earnings after market last night in US, and it disappointed the market. It was trading down around 15% after market, just below $50, just above this support level here. We can't see it here at the moment because the chart is not showing aftermarket prices as it shouldn't, but we can wait for the market to open later today and pre-market see where will we be trading. Will we close below 48.85 support or not? It seems like we probably will close below the lower rising trend line there, so it can be a bit under pressure. We got a bit of warning sign with the bearish engulfing top reversal pattern there a few days ago last week on the 31st of July with many other companies in the market, stocks. So let's see where it opens today. We can have a better view at it, but it will gap lower for sure. On the overall markets, we have Nasdaq 100 that also was lower yesterday. Also had this bearish engulfing here, trying to recover from it, but we did actually jump at the opening, but again sellers took control throughout the session. But key support 22,670 still holding on. We have here pre-market, we can see we are bouncing a little bit. Here's the US NAS 100 CFD. We are bouncing a little bit. Still 22,582 is key support. But I think that if we add a horizontal line to these lows here at 22,665 and it breaks below, that could be a sign of lower levels. The US 500 pre-market also bouncing, but in normal market time, it actually was also lower, about 0.5%. 6,200 still key support on Dow Jones, while it is actually in a bearish trend with this lower low here than over here. Also, we had bearish or negative sentiment, but still not negative sentiment. Sorry, with divergence on the RSI sentiment, but still holding on above the 40 threshold. In Asian session this morning, we have Hang Seng slightly higher. I think it will bounce further if it can close above 25,177. Then I think we'll see uptrend resuming. We are in uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, bouncing off the rising trend line there, and still positive sentiment on the RSI, likely to move higher as long as we stay above 24,370. On the Nikkei, also bouncing. Also think we'll push higher. There is positive sentiment, no divergence, as we can see. This peak here is higher than that one over here, indicating likely higher levels. If it moves back above 41,280, then I think we'll see also the previous peak be at least being tested. In the European market, we have EuroStoxx50 bouncing this morning here about 0.5%, testing the 100 moving average and the 5,278 resistance. Negative sentiment on the RSI, so if it starts sliding back below 5,200, we could see a downtrend resuming there. DAX index is above the clouds and currently above the support resistance here at 23,922. So let's see what it can bring us today. Can it bounce further? But it really needs to get back above the falling trend line here really to establish a bullish trend. On the FX markets, well, the FX market is the FX market has bounced a little bit here on the euro dollar, but past few days just basically trading sideways above the cloud, above 55 moving average, but we have negative sentiment on the RSI, so it's a little bit in a limbo at the moment, I would say. I think we need to get the euro dollar back above 116.40, above the 61.8 retracement to really get back in a bullish trend. If not, it could slide back, and if it takes out the lows here, well, then we are looking at 112 area. Sterling dollar, bearish trend, lower low, lower high, and lower low, bouncing here. We have this neckline here in this shoulder pattern that it broke bearish out of, and if it takes out the lows here from a few days ago at 131.40, which wouldn't be a surprise, despite the fact that we actually have a bullish engulfing there. Well, if it does that, well, then we're looking at levels around 130, 129. Euro sterling, that has bounced strongly, and I think it will continue to bounce. However, I want confirmation, so I want it to take out 87.40, this spike up here. If it does that, then I think we'll see higher levels above 88. But the 786 retracement here, it seems to be really key. We could see a little bit of a setback. Dollar yen bouncing from the 786 retracement, but haven't really gotten its mojo back, but I think it will eventually. Positive sentiment on the RSI, 55 moving average coming up here, but if it takes out the lows from yesterday, where it spiked once again below the 786 retracement at what is it, at 146.60, well, then we could see it down 145.85, support area here. But I think we'll see it bounce up to around 149 eventually, and that will be key. Can it actually bounce further? Euro yen boxed in here between 169.70 and 172.40. That is the key range to break out of for direction. Aussie yen, key support here at 94.80, 85. Where 55 moving average coming up, giving some support. Positive sentiment on the RSI, indicating we could see another push towards this strong resistance here around 95.45 area. If it takes out 94.80, well, then we are looking at levels around 94, possibly lower. Sterling yen, bouncing from the 195 support area. If it moves back above the clouds, really back above the 55 moving average here, then I think we could see push up to 197.80, possibly up to 198.55, and possibly testing the rising trend line there from the other side. But the uptrend has been reversed. We are in a bearish move. Negative sentiment, so if taking out 195, well, then we are looking at levels possibly below 193.70 and maybe even lower to 192.50, and so keep an eye on these levels there. It's really important. On the Aussie dollar, 64.97, so I'll say 65, always add a little bit, 65. If it moves back above 65, then I think we'll see it pushing higher towards the 65.45, 65.80, and uptrend could resume despite the fact that we have negative sentiment. Maybe that is a false break, like 100 moving average rising, 55 moving average rising, currently above the cloud. So if we close above 65, then I think we will see it pushing higher. Dollar Canada, setting back a bit, correction phase, could test the lower falling, the upper falling trend line there, could even dip down to the 55 moving average and the 61.8 retracement at 136.90, and then bounce. We do have positive sentiment on the RSI, indicating likely higher levels, but we see the 100 moving average is really kind of putting a lid on it here on the other side. Yeah, so it could be a struggle to get up there, but it's not unlikely it will take it out and puts up to what's 140. So really keep an eye on what's going on. If it starts pushing higher here, then it could test these peaks and these resistance area. The sterling Canada, trading sideways, taking a breather after a sell-off, but lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. We are in a bearish trend. Could be an exhaustion mode. 200 moving average giving some support here, just below 182.60. But if it takes out that level there, let's just add a horizontal line, 182.25, 182.20, then I think we'll see levels around 181, 180. Otherwise, we could bounce a bit, but moving averages here 55 and 100 declining, trying to push it lower. EuroSwiss, well, 93.70 to the other side. I don't think it will be broken, but if it does, then we could see a push up to just below the 94.40. I think we will slide back a little bit. We have the 200 moving average slightly declining, and the 100 moving average that has broken below it, and that will push, seems to be pushing EuroSwiss lower, and we are still in a bearish mode, but more or less sideways trading. EuroSwiss is trading sideways here in a correction phase, positive sentiment indicating likely a push up to around 82.50 maybe. But if it takes out 80 level down here, well, then I think downtrend could resume, and it's still below the 55 moving average. We have the 100 pushing lower, so let's see how far that correction here could move. Dollar index, after the massive sell-off here on the 1st of August, found some support here around the 50%. Interestingly, I think we will see this still sliding back to the 61.8 retracement, 98.08, where the little bit strong support, positive sentiment on the RSI. So if you see the dollar index moving back above the cloud and back above 99, then we could see a push up higher, and that's what RSI telling us, is that it is indicating there is possibility to push up to this region here around 100 spot 32, 100 spot 74 in this region here, maybe even higher if it gets up there. Then we are looking at levels up around 101 and higher, 101.80. Moving on to the gold market, the metals market in general. We have gold that is trading around this lower rising trend line there that broke below. Still positive sentiment on the RSI, but we're taking a breather here around the 61.8 retracement of 3,374. 55 moving average rising, 21 moving average rising, 100 moving average rising. So the underlying sentiment and trend is actually bullish. It's just a big sideways range we are trading here. I think eventually we will crawl higher, and if we take out 3,400, 3,402.5, then I think we will see higher levels above 3,439. Silver also in bouncing modes. It bounced off the 786 retracement of this uptrend there, and currently now it is trading around the 50% of this sell-off there. Key level is the 61.8 retracement, and resistance here at 38.30. That would be key here in the next couple of days. Positive sentiment, despite showing divergence, is indicating we could see it. So that would be key, 38.30 at that resistance. Platinum. Well, I think if it takes out the peak there on 4th of August at 1356.5, 1357, then I think we'll see it push up to around 1400, and that could also be uptrend resuming. And if RSI gets back above 60 threshold, then we could see higher levels on platinum. However, if it takes out the lows to at 1269, then we are looking at 1200. Copper just stepping sideways, still above the 433 support area, 431, 433. If it takes it out, well, then we are looking at 400 down here. Resistance at 464.60. If it takes out that, but it's really a strong one, then the next strong one is at 495. Moving on to the energy market and crude oil. WTI crude oil supported at 64.70. If it takes out that, well, then we could be, and close below, we could see lower levels towards a 60 area, but for now, basically range bound. The Brent crude oil did close below its minus support at 68. Key support down here at 66.35, 66.60. As you can see, where it comes all the way back here, seems to be really key or pivot area down here, and still positive sentiment on the RSI. So I think we will bounce. I don't think we will take out this, but if we do this support here, well, then we are looking at 62.63 level. We have the European nat gas still in this sideways range here. Talked about so many times after being rejected at 55 moving average and the 786 retracement. So I think we'll slide lower here towards 32 and 31 in the coming days and weeks. Negative sentiment on the RSI indicating lower levels. US nat gas also still keeps sliding lower, and I think we'll reach the 285, possibly 275 fairly soon. On to interest rates and the US 10-year Treasury yields. 420 support still holding on. If it's being taken out, then I think we'll also take out the 417 and push down to around the 412 could be in the books or in the horizon. Negative sentiment on the RSI indicating that needs to get back above 432. It could bounce up to that, but that it's still fairly strong resistance there. So for now, we are in a bearish trend. Moving on to the European yields and the EU 10-year. Well, bounced just off the 55 moving average, and it didn't get down to 258, which is key support. So we are still caught range bound in this region here, and 272 to the other side. I know it's spiked above a lot of times, but never closed above, as you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times it's spiked above, but never closed above. If it suddenly closes above, well, then we have a different situation with likely higher levels. But for now, we are happy as a mortgage holder. I'm happy that it hasn't closed above and could slide lower. Let's hope for that. The UK 10 bouncing off the 450, still in a bearish trend, but in the bigger picture, a little bit range bound, but still in a bearish trend. Could slide lower here towards, let's see if what will happen here at 450 again. It dipped a little bit below, but it actually still holding on. Crypto, Bitcoin, 112,000, still holding on. It dipped a little bit below, but that is key if it takes out that lows here from at 111,900, then we could see a further selling pressure. But Ethereum seems a little bit stronger, but it got rejected there. The 61.8 retracement at 37.18. If it can push above that, well, then uptrend could resume with higher levels towards 4100 to follow. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and talk to you again later.